What's up, guys? What's up? This is my first time ever streaming, so bear with me if there's any technical difficulties. Let me go ahead and put this link out on Twitter. Let's see. Bear with me if there's any technical. What's up, Marcus and Jacob? Hey, appreciate it, Crucial Cam. All right, let's get into this. First play here, we got 1st and 10 for the Jaguars. You know I'm going to be watching Rashaan Evans on like every play because he played so bad. It's usually kind of rare that you can like really notice a guy missing his gaps like from the broadcast, but man, that was brutal. Good job by Jeffrey Simmons holding his ground. 94. Amani Bledsoe has been pretty good defending the run from the edge. Let's see. What's a bigger concern, Julio or the offensive line? I feel like the offensive line, like Julio, we kind of knew it was going to be like this going in because it's like that's kind of how Julio is. He's sort of day to day. The offensive line, though, it's really like people say the offensive line. I was talking about this on Twitter. Like people say the offensive line is bad. It's really the right tackle and Nate Davis. Like Taylor Lewan has been good since week 1. Saffold has been really good when he's on the field. And then Ben Jones has been solid as far as pass protection. So I don't know that I see that getting better. And Dylan Radins just did not look comfortable at right tackle. So I think he could be like a long-term solution at left tackle or maybe at guard. We'll see if they end up keeping Saffold out. Yeah, I agree that Monty Rice deserves a chance for sure. I think like from what we've seen from Rashaan Evans, I mean, like even if Monty Rice is bad, at least he's getting experience and you're figuring out what you have in him. All right, 2nd and 10. I'm like new to streaming, so next time I do this, I'll figure out how to like have the chat up on the screen while I'm watching this because I have to go back and forth. But we'll do a few plays and then I'll check the chat. 2nd and 10. Here we go. Got man coverage. Looks like cover 2. So they're in like 2-man. Good job by, yeah, that's a good job by Christian Fulton. I mean, the ball was not close to being catchable, but his ability to change direction is just like, even when it's not these plays where he's making crazy breaks on passes or anything, you just see like the way he moves around the field is so smooth. Let's look at Jenkins over here. Good feet. Yeah, that's really good. That's great press technique by Jenkins. Watch the feet. He's keeping his balance good, weight on the balls of his feet. Transitions out of press. Good coverage. Let's look at the pass rush here. There we go, Jeffrey Simmons making an impact. Somehow I got painted as like an anti Jeffrey Simmons person on Twitter. I think I don't know. I think Jeffrey Simmons is good. He just he's not like at that elite top level yet, but yeah, man. So Jeffrey Simmons blows up this play, gets that inside arm under, keeps the feet driving, low pad level. Good job there. All right, let me check the chat. Let's see. John White tees are this is like the all 22 film I get from NFL Game Pass, and then I basically screen record it, and I use this software called Tempo Video, which allows me to I chart all the games, and so I basically have all these things that I put in for every play, and that allows me, like, if I'm watching and I see, okay, they're playing cover 3 like this weird way, I can filter based off of, like, let me just watch all their cover 3 plays and see if I notice anything. Zach, yeah, so like the Harold Landry thing, that's something that we'll probably get into, but I feel like I'm going to be someone that might be anti re-signing Harold Landry to a long-term deal once it kind of gets to that, because a lot of his pressures have been schemed up. He's definitely playing a lot better, for sure. But yeah, I mean, you look at Bud Dupree, $18 million a year for him. Landry, if he keeps it up, I mean, he's going to be like 20-something million. So that's $40 million invested in edge rusher without like a true number one. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I would be much more in favor of giving Landry the franchise tag for sure. But we'll see. I mean, like, I wanna see him winning off the edge more than getting like cleanup sacks and hustle sacks. All that stuff is great, but it's not what you need to be paying for at edge rusher. All right, this is the fumble. I will say, this might be an unpopular opinion, but the refs really helped us in this game. This is a good play by Molden. Molden was the highest graded defensive player for the Titans on PFF. Let's look at the pass rush. We're doing a little tackle stunt there with Autry and Simmons. All right, so next possession. Good job by Tart here. Yeah, Tart, TR Tart's not going to get any stats, but he does a good job. Like, you cannot reach block him. Forcing the cutback. It's easy to say that, you want your defensive linemen to force cutbacks, but you need your linebackers to be able to fill their gaps, which, as we'll see pretty soon, is not something you can really count on. Good job by Chris Jackson avoiding this block here. Chris Jackson, I've been so surprised by Chris Jackson. Um, I mean, he was terrible his rookie year. I was not expecting Chris Jackson to be like a contributor, a startable player during the offseason, um, when he was getting like starting reps and the reports from practice. I was like, man, if Chris Jackson's starting for us, that's not a good sign. But he's been really good every game. So that anything to keep them from playing Christian Fulton in the slot, I'll take. All right, this is Evan's first big screw up here. So like it's tough sometimes when you're watching film on a run play. What you try to do is come up with the gap assignments. Sometimes it can be tough if they're doing like a run blitz, they're doing some stunts and twists and stuff. It can be difficult to figure out who exactly screwed up their assignment. This is not one of those cases. Like, okay. So we take look at Tart and Simmons. Tart's taking this A gap. Simmons has the B gap. David Long is clearly responsible for this A gap right here. This strong side A gap. Evans just loops in there for no apparent reason. It's like, I'd love to be able to give some insightful psychoanalysis into why he's doing this, but I don't know. I mean, the only explanation is that they were doing a linebacker stunt as like a run blitz where Evans was supposed to take this A gap and then Long was supposed to fill. Obviously, Long is not filling the backside there. Really good hustle on this play by Jackson and Byard especially. Yeah, man. Rashaan Evans is an interesting player to watch for sure. Look at the chat. What are your thoughts on Molden being second safety next to Byard? I think the Titans run a ton of 3 safety stuff. Whenever they go into dime, it'll be 3 safeties and 3 cornerbacks. So Molden can kind of be one of those hybrid players that can play some slot corner. He can play safety. So I see Molden as more of like a hybrid slot safety type of guy, pretty similar to Dane Cruikshank as far as his role. I think when Amani Hooker gets healthy, you want him as the second safety. But Molden can be good depth there, especially in his like first couple years as he gets adjusted. Okay, here's Long. David Long not filling his gap. So Tart's going to kind of spin over here. Like T.R. Tart has this gap filled. David Long is just parting the Red Sea for 24. Is that Hyde? Yeah. Linebacker play. This is my first time watching through it, but the linebacker play from watching the broadcast was not very good at all. Long likes to go under blocks, which takes him out of plays too often. Yeah, it's like David Long is kind of in an interesting situation because he's not a guy that's going to be able to just stack and shed consistently, like really take on blocks with physicality. So he kind of has to be shifty and try to dodge blocks, which is not really proper technique, but he kind of makes it work. That's just going to be sort of an inherent kind of disadvantage that he's at. Good job by Rashaan Evans right here as far as his assignment, but he lets Carlos Hyde blow him back a lot. Like the run defense in general before the Jaguars game has been pretty solid, I've thought, except in short yardage situations. Anytime it's like 4th and 1 and teams have seemed to be able to run on us. Oh yeah. Okay, what? So Mike Vrabel said he thought it was a QB sneak, and that's why he dove. I mean, it's pretty obviously not a quarterback sneak. Like at right at this moment, he needs to maybe change his game plan. Evans, it's like on film room episodes, I'll try to think of some interesting way to phrase it when I'm talking about a Rashaan Evans play, and it's just like, what are you doing, bro? Is Jayon Brown an upgrade in run defense to Rashaan Evans? Jayon's not great in run defense, but it's like Jayon's bad in run defense in a less frustrating way. He's a small like coverage linebacker, so he's just not going to be great in run defense. But if you've got a guy that just isn't able to really take on blocks that consistently, you can kind of live with that. It's less frustrating, and you're going to be giving up explosive plays less often, because even if you can't take on a block, even if you're getting pushed back a little bit, you're still there. The running back has to at least kind of move around from you. With Evans, he'll decide like, yeah, I have this A gap, but I might just run through the C gap because I feel like it, and then there's no one there to stop the run. Good job by Blossing Game. Let's see, what are we doing here? Yeah, Saffold can't really get the reach block. Good job by Nate Davis. I'll be interested to watch Nate Davis. He graded out really well in run defense for the first time this year. So we'll see if he's kind of getting back to form. McMath. Racy McMath, he played a lot. McMath played a lot against the Jets. Really was not getting very much separation. He had a really nice run block on one of Henry's bigger runs, but I don't know. I really liked what I saw from Marcus Johnson. Yeah, so the Titans have been running a lot of pitch outside zone. I don't think they're faking outside zone here, but yeah, they've been running a lot of pitch toss plays. So they're doing a little play action off of that. This is like the biggest thing. Well, I don't know about the biggest thing, but this is a big thing about getting A.J. Brown back, is he's just a guy that can look at this release. Outside release, physicality within the 5 yards, all that. That quickness and change of direction, look at how much separation he's able to create off of his release. But AJ's a guy that can take a quick slant, 70 yards. We've seen it so many times. And that's just such an easy way to get explosive plays for your offense without really having to do too much. He didn't take it here, but that sort of thing, I'm excited to see that come back. The run blocking in this game was very good, I thought. The Good job from Ben Jones. Let's watch Nate Davis. Oh, yeah. Nate Davis, like reach blocking. Nate Davis, I thought last year was one of the best pure reach blockers in the NFL. And he's just been using terrible technique all year. But look at Nate Davis right here. Look at this first step, first of all. Explosive first step. He's attacking the outside shoulder, square with the line of scrimmage, and then just driving through. Great job there. Nice job by Lawan. Really, Saffold is the one. Can't get the block. I mean, you know, reaching the one tech from guard is difficult, but I think that was a penalty. Yeah, that play was a 5-yard penalty on someone. 1st and 15 here. Run play. Yeah, I haven't been as like down on Todd Downing as most people. The one thing that I just really don't like is all the first down runs. It really is so predictable. The actual runs themselves, I think he's honestly done a better job than Arthur Smith as far as mixing up the actual runs and kind of piecing them together well, as far as when he does his throws in like the changeup, some split zone. We've got guard pulling here, running some power. I think the run design has been really creative, but it's just the fact that you're running on first down all the time. And I think that Nate Davis, I think Tennessee's, I haven't included the numbers for the Jaguars game, but Tennessee's running power 9-10% of the time this season, and power is just kind of the basic gap scheme run, pulling a guard. They're running it like 10% of the time. They barely ran it at all last season. I think Nate Davis, because he's so athletic, if you can get him on the move, obviously his athleticism is great for outside zone, but I think getting him on the move and running power is really good. The other thing with power is that the defense, when you run gap scheme stuff, the defense doesn't want to penetrate into the backfield, because that's how you run trap or counter, and you take advantage of that aggressiveness and break off big gains. So if you start running a lot of power, the defense is going to be a little bit more conservative as far as, trying to get into the backfield. And Derrick Henry, the main way to stop him is to get into the backfield and make contact with him before he gets past the line of scrimmage. So yeah, let's look at this pass play here. Running a little play action, got a 2-man route. So this is just Yankee, which is like the bread and butter passing concept of the Shanahan type of offense, where we're going to get a post route, a dig route off of play action. You're coming out with 2 tight ends, I formation, well, not I formation, but ace, and the defense is going to be forced to stack the box, respect the run. So you're getting this middle of the field a little bit open, and then you just send a deep route and then an intermediate route. One of those is usually going to be open. Jacksonville covers this pretty well. Good job by that corner. Yeah, Miles Jack does a good job of... Miles Jack knew that was coming. Like, this isn't his... he's probably... What are they in? Cover 3? Yeah, so he's got like this hook curl, but he sees that play action. He knows we're trying to hit that dig route. What's up, the fundraiser? The other thing with Todd Downing that he's doing, this is that penalty, but is like coming out and empty so much. I get it. I mean, this it's not this place specifically because this is 3rd and 16, but he was doing that a lot against the Jets. Empty, it's like when we have Julio and AJ Brown back in full swing, if you want to do that, that's fine. But coming out with in like open formations, you're basically just trying to create one-on-ones and take advantage of that. And we had Racy McMath, Cam Batson, Josh Reynolds as our receivers against the Jets, and Todd Downing's like, oh yeah, we need to get these guys in one-on-one situations. No, you don't. You need to be like running heavy personnel, trying to get like a little gimmicky and scheme these guys open. They weren't creating separation all day. So yeah, not to mention the pass protection issues that you get with empty. All right, let's see what happened here. Got like looks like cover 1, robber probably. Good coverage by Christian Fulton, top of your screen. Chenault doesn't waste any time with his release. Good job there. Let's watch Jenkins. I'm going to go into some bail technique. Yeah, this is just on Crookshank. Crookshank played really well the first 3 or 4 weeks, but he was really bad this game, especially tackling. Avery Williamson better than Evans? I do think so, yes. Avery Williamson is, at this point in his career, a limited athlete. He's a early down running back, but he's a veteran, gap sound, disciplined, basically the opposite of Rashaan Evans. I mean, I just don't see the upside in playing Rashaan Evans over anyone because obviously like the on the field production isn't there, but this is an opportunity where you can kind of see what you have in David Long and Monty Rice. See if those two can get the job done as your linebacking duo, because we have we're 5 games into the season. We've got 12 games more. We have the opportunity to have 12 games of a showcase of those two at linebacker. And if the linebacking performance is good, then we can go into this next offseason saying like, okay, we don't need to re-sign Jayon Brown. We don't need to re-sign Rashaan Evans. Carter, yeah, okay, yeah, no, I agree. When I was doing my like preseason roster prediction or whatever, I had 2 fullbacks making the roster. I had Blassingame and Carter on the roster just because I did not feel good about the Titans tight end situation. And yeah, Jeff Swaim has been really bad. Great job here by Christian Fulton playing off coverage, breaking on the ball. We'll get into Caleb Farley in a little bit, but that was where I was most impressed with Farley as a draft prospect, is his ability to break out of off coverage and break on these routes. Fulton does that really well. But yeah, no, Jeff Swaim has been Definitely the Titans' worst offensive player. On a, I thought I was pretty impressed with him as a blocker last season. And on like a down to down basis, it's not that he's bad, but he's good for one or two plays every game that just completely blow up the play. And it's not just like missing his block or something like that. It's getting driven back 5 yards into the line of scrimmage. So yeah, any snap that Swaim gets over Pruitt is a travesty. All right, 3rd and 12 here. Gonna run a little 2-man, looks like. Look at Chris Jackson on the slot right here. Closing that gap. Got Evans picking this guy up. Pass rush outside of Evans, or outside of Landry, was not super impressive just from the broadcast. We'll see. I know Danico Autry only had 1 pressure, I think. There's Simmons doing a good job pressuring the quarterback. Yeah, great play by Jeff Simmons there. My guy Ola has not made an impact for 2 games. Not looking like he's going to be the guy. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm still gonna do like a film room video. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, like, I'm kind of showing a lot of footage here, and I don't know how that will work with copyright. I'll definitely keep it up on Patreon. But yeah, I might keep it up. We'll see. Who is that? Pile driving someone? Nate Davis, my guy, right here. There we go. My guy came to play as a run blocker. Check out Pruitt right here. Like, Pruitt can block, dude. Pruitt was, I know PFF grades aren't everything, but Pruitt was the 7th highest graded run blocking tight end last season. Like, even Jeff Swaim at his absolute best as a blocker, you're not getting a drop off when you switch to Pruitt. Okay, I remember it's a bad throw by Tannehill, but I remember noticing this from the broadcast. I hate running play action boot when you've got a wide 9 out here that you're not blocking, because you're gambling that Josh Allen, who's a really good edge rusher, is going to completely take the bait and get completely flushed into all of this traffic, and that Tannehill's going to have a completely free path. Like, they did this with Chandler, was it? Yeah, I think it was Chandler Jones. One of the first plays of the Cardinals game, just left him unblocked. You're gambling that a 10-year veteran, one of the best edge rushers, is just going to be completely fooled by that. And then not a smart throw by Tannehill. Yeah, the Henry blocking Lawan play is still coming. Yeah, Avery Williamson, talked about him a little bit, but he's just like a solid kind of run defending linebacker. Not a great athlete, especially at this point in his career, but kind of a high floor, low ceiling type of guy. Definitely an upgrade to Evans in my opinion. All right, so we got 3rd and 6 here. I like this play design. McNichols has really shown, that he can be a reliable backfield receiving threat. So they're gonna. Is that Swaim or Ferkser? This white dude is gonna. Him and Chester Rogers are just gonna clear out right here. Basically, you're running a pick play. You've got man coverage because you see the numbers match up single high. Clear out and then clear out from this side. Send a little shallow cross. McNichols gets a lot of room to run after the catch. And you look at when you've got a corner that's playing off like this and then you create a bunch of traffic in front of him, he physically cannot get over there to cover that in time. So good play design on 3rd and 6 right there. First down play action, like to see it. Let's see, what are we running here? Yeah, they're basically running Yankee except kind of like a skinny post and a shallow post. I'm not sure what Tannehill was, who he was targeting here. Either way, they weren't open really. It looks like he was. Did he get hit maybe? Yeah, I guess maybe it just slipped out of his hand. I don't know. Borders and Jenkins should be traded. I don't know that anybody's trading for Breon Borders, but I thought Jenkins played pretty well in this game. He's kind of I've made this comparison before, but he's to me like Malcolm Butler the first couple years that we signed him, where on a down-to-down basis he's pretty good, but he'll give up a big play here and there. I don't know. I'm kind of fine with Jenkins, I guess, until Farley gets up to speed. All right, I love. Actually, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like. All right, so they're running counter. So Derrick Henry's going to take a step over here and then run this way. They ran a play against the Colts where they sent jet motion from the other side. So with Derrick Henry's counter step right here, you're trying to get the linebackers to flow to the left, and the jet motion from that side basically cancels out the fake there. I really like the play design against the Colts where they sent it from this side, so you're adding on to that fake, but not really sure what that does. Really, another good block by Nate Davis on the move here. Probably would like him to drive him back a little better. Watch Lawan here also. Sealing off that edge, good job. Great job by Saffold. Just displaces this guy. Really, it's just Ben Jones losing his block. That's the thing with run, is that what run plays is you'll have 4 out of 5 offensive linemen block it up perfectly. One guy misses his block and it can screw up the whole play. That could be right, Lucas. Yeah. Darrington Evans. Yeah, Darrington Evans has been kind of a disappointment. I didn't really like that pick to begin with. Just not the player, just a third round pick on a running back when you've got the best running back in the league, kind of, because it's like best case scenario you're getting Theo Riddick. You know. Let's see what Marcus Johnson's doing with this route here. 3rd and 6, bunch formation. So you get held, I guess. Yeah, because it's a first down. It'll be interesting to see. This is my first watch through of the game, so I haven't charted this yet, but it'll be interesting to see how much motion they do. I think before this game, they were down 20% as far as motion usage from last year to this year, which it's like you should always be doing motion. There's literally no reason not to. There's no reason to just let the defense know exactly what their assignment is and just sit there and think about their assignment. Even if the motion isn't, doing anything crazy, it's like make the defense think a little bit. Who is JR? Brandon, that might be like a really dumb question, but JR. John Robinson. Have y'all seen those tweets? I've been dying at those tweets that are like, is this a safe space? And they're like, I'll be honest, I need to see more from Derrick Henry or something. And there's always people in the replies that fall for that. Like, if you fall for that, that's such an L. Come on. Dude, Nate Davis came to play. Watch Nate Davis right here. Just digging out this tackle. That's one of the things. It's always interesting to see the PFF grades when they come out, and then go through and watch the film and see like where I agree and disagree. I feel like they need to. I don't like the way they do like pass coverage and receivers, but blocking, I feel like I usually agree with their grades. Here's a good block by Jeff Swaim. Kind of almost a block in the back, but and Questenberry has been really good against the run, I will say, and he's been okay against the pass blocking, literally except for that one game against the Jets. Pruitt misses this block right here. Yeah, just doesn't. Looks like he gets confused on his assignment. Yeah. I guess Pruitt isn't tight end 1 anymore. It's a shame. Oh. Jenkins. Yeah, he's kind of like Marcus Peters with less of the high end plays. Yeah, Reynolds is just solid all around. Um, Only 2 games, but I think he's had really smooth releases. He was really the only receiver against the Jets that was creating much separation at all. Um, we'll see how his hands are. I mean, he was getting. This is Marcus Johnson, anyways, but um, he was getting. The Jets were getting away with a ton of contact as far as like defensive backs grabbing receivers. I mean, not necessarily an excuse, but this is pretty much the same like route design as they did on that 3rd and 6 from a few plays ago, where they're gonna have Swaim and Pruitt coming across, basically just digging out these defensive backs, send A.J. Brown on a shallow cross. Yeah. I'm not really concerned with A.J. Brown going forward once he gets healthy. I think he'll be good. Sargent. I really liked Sargent. I really liked him in the preseason. I think I just don't think that Jeremy McNichols really gives you much as a runner. I mean, I know he had a few big plays against the Jets, but he just had a ton of open space. It wasn't a lot of making guys miss. Sargent just was so shifty. We got another play that Pruitt is going to mess up. So all across the offensive line, perfect blocks. Pruitt can't secure his block, and then play gets blown up. But yeah, as far as like the 3rd down back, RB2, it'll really just come down to pass protection, who they trust. I thought that Derrick Henry was making some strides in pass pro. He was really good against Seattle, but he's had a couple big mess ups in the last 2 weeks. Blossingame and Pruitt looks like they both have really nice clear out blocks here. Just running ISO. Yeah. They brought Kendall Lamb as the 6th offensive lineman eligible receiver. I was hoping we would get a little play action play to him. I remember this play because I was staring at the prop bet for Christian Fulton over 2 tackles, and this was like his 3rd tackle, and I was like, God, that was just free money. Why didn't I take that? Does anyone know who 97 is? I looked him up, but then completely forgot his name. I noticed him getting pushed off the line a few times. Should have found a way to keep Corey Davis. I don't know. It's a lot of money. I mean, time will tell if Julio ends up being an upgrade. If he can, I mean, I think when he's on the field, Julio's definitely an upgrade, but we'll see how the injury situation works out. I don't think David Long had a missed tackle coming into this week. That's always been his biggest problem, but he got his fair share. Like reads the play right, just takes a bad angle. Kind of this is what David Long's tape looked like last season. It was just flying all over the field and like Olane, the running back. Autry misses the tackle. All right, 3rd and 3 here. This is well, maybe we'll see if they complete this. All right, so like this is bad coverage by Fulton because it's not even, was it even? Yeah, it was a double move. He falls for this double move, but I really like the way that they exchanged this bunch formation. Have Chris Jackson take. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Is have your when you're facing bunch formation is have the press corner take the first in breaking route. Fulton just falls for the double move. Pretty good pressure by Adani, yeah. Would have liked them to. I would have, if Adani's gonna aggressively slant inside, I would have liked to have a looper coming right around Jawan Taylor here for when Trevor Lawrence steps up. Amani Bledsoe's 94. You think we should have kept Dennis Kelly? Definitely seems like, I mean, trading, it wasn't a trade, but like figuratively trading Dennis Kelly for Kendall Lamb does not seem like I had higher hopes for Kendall Lamb. I feel like Titans fans kind of overrate Dennis Kelly. I never really thought he was that good. I mean, he was good as like a swing tackle, obviously, but here's good coverage by Long. David Long, because he's just so fast, and not only that, but just has great acceleration. He's really good at defending running backs in man coverage, I've noticed so far this season. And then, yeah, I mean, the reason we couldn't stop Robinson, we're only on the second quarter, but it hasn't seemed like a whole like defense wide issue. It's just, one person loses their gap. That's a big run play, assuming the running back has, average vision. Oops. All right, we'll look at the pass rush in a second. Let's see. Looks like just cover one. Oh, Monty Rice is in now. Maybe not. No, like cover 3 maybe. Second and 3. Molden loses. So, I mean, he plays it right to begin with. Contact the number 2. But you've got nothing coming over here in the shallow area. Like, he needs to be, he just loses track of that guy. Misses the tackle. Is that Molden or, no, that's Cruikshank. My bad. Let's see what they're doing here. They've been running these a lot. I barely noticed them doing this at all last season, where they're doing like a double stunt. So you'll have Tart slant, is 59 Simon, I think, Simon slant, and then loop around over 2 gaps. Simon's able to actually get pressure in there. Long blitzes. Good pursuit by Simmons. What's up, GM Boldy? Yeah, we should have just re-signed everybody. Like, should have done what the Saints do and just pretend the cap doesn't exist. Great job by Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons has been super impressive so far. Makes contact first. Would like his base to maybe not be as wide, but just like that's just pure strength. Arm extension. I mean, he gets double teamed, but barely gets moved. Monty Rice, not really in on the play, but he does what he's supposed to do. Long, does, yeah. Good play. 2nd and goal. A little trips action. Quick pitch. Let's see. Landry. Yeah, that's just, I mean, Landry and Long, that's just not taking good angles, missing the tackle. Byard all over the place for the whole game. I'm glad people are like finally starting to realize that Kevin Byard is back to form. He's been back. Another good play by Byard. I like Landry. The commentators were making this point a lot, but Landry's patience when he was defending the read option was really good. Keeping that, setting a wide edge, but then he has the athleticism to be able to bounce back inside and close the running lane. Yeah, Harold Landry's been low-key like a really good run defender for his entire career from the edge. Appreciate it, Roy Rogers. Donnie, yeah, I'm thinking I will. Um, how do I have this knowledge? I don't have like a football background. Um, I basically uh, started watching film just because I was interested in it, like 2017. And basically, who is this? Marcus Johnson. The process was basically just I would watch a play. I was coming into it with, like I'd been watching football my whole life, but I didn't really know about coverages or protections, run fits, that sort of thing. I'd watch a play, didn't understand what was going on. I'd spend like 5 hours, looking for the answer on the internet. And there's so many good resources, like a bunch of high school coaches will have blogs, and there's a bunch of good books on Amazon, and watch a bunch of coaching clinics and stuff. Just, because I was interested in it, got to a point where I was like, I feel like I have an interesting perspective. So, yeah, let me actually, y'all can screenshot this. I'm going to try to figure out. Still learning how OBS works. I'll show y'all my Kindle collection of the books, the football books that I've read that y'all can screenshot if you are interested. There we go. Bottom two were like school books, but yeah, pass coverage glossary is huge. For it just has like every coverage imaginable and responsibilities and stuff. Take your eye off the ball is if you're like wanting to start getting into that like X's and O's sort of stuff. And then Bobby Peters' books, he does just complete charting and breakdowns of specific teams' offenses from that year. So really recommend those. All right. All right, back to the film. 1st and 10 right here. Jeff Swaim, the all-star, coming in motion. Nice block by Jeff Swaim. Really good block by Taylor Lewan here as well. Good reach block by Ben Jones. This nose tackle looks like he maybe gets tripped up, doesn't put up too much of a fight. Yeah, I can already tell Tennessee's motion numbers are going to go up from this game. I love this. I love this play design right here. They're showing they got zone coverage. It's 2nd and 5, zone coverage, not playing the flat super hard. So you just jet motion Josh Reynolds. You're either going to have this edge defender or this linebacker, whoever it is that's responsible for the flat is not going to be over there in time to just defend the flat route. So that's just an easy way to move the chains. That's a good call. Like that. Oh, now, yeah, so this is when Todd Downing decides to get super creative with the run blocking. Let's switch to this other view here. Like essentially it's counter, faking the toss to Henry, bring Chester Rogers across, pull Pruitt. Lawan seals off the linebacker. Good blocking on the backside. Good job by Pruitt to let Josh Allen pass, hit the second level. Really good way to just get the ball into the hands of fast receivers. They did this with Batson a couple times. I want to see the AJ Brown handoffs come back. They did that in 2019. I would have to look it up, but they would have had to average damn near like 30 yards a carry with AJ Brown. Didn't do it at all in 2020, and then they did it one time, maybe week 3, maybe. Nice solid block by Ben Jones. Davis. The one thing in run blocking that Nate Davis struggles with is landing blocks at the second level, which you wouldn't expect because that seems like it would be right in his skill set. He's this mobile, on the move blocker, but he just has a really difficult time kind of timing his second level blocks when he's uncovered in an outside zone. I also like Derrick Henry. People don't give Derrick Henry enough credit for how good his vision is. Not that he's doing anything spectacular on this play, I mean, but the way that Derrick Henry can just see blocks developing before they actually develop is truly elite. And people, when he has one of these big games, it's just like, oh, Derrick Henry, he's like a defensive end that runs a 4-3 or whatever. He's like this physical freak that you can't stop, and that's true. But if he had bad, like Leonard Fournette is a physical freak with bad vision. Couple great blocks so far by Blossingame. I feel like Blossingame is a very underutilized weapon for this offense. I was critical of Todd Downing last week, which if you want to definitely check out my patreon.com/noflagsfilm if you want to see the Jets breakdown. But I was critical of Todd Downing when they ran the Wildcat with Derrick Henry last week. They come out with Tannehill under center and then like motion him out. And it's like you're still coming out in heavy personnel, so you're not affecting anything from a numbers perspective. Like it's not like you're getting the defense into like into dime or nickel or anything. And then Tannehill just kind of doesn't serve any purpose on the play. I'd rather just bring out another tight end to block. Let me see if Batson's actually like reading. I mean, the read would have been to hand it off, but I mean, he's faster than number six, yeah. The funny thing, I'm not someone that like has a problem with the single digit numbers or whatever. I do think it's funny though that you can basically just tell who's new to the team based on if they have a single digit number, because people don't want to pay to buy out their jerseys. So it'll get different once it's been like that for a few years. But yeah, this is a great block by Blossingame. What makes Questenberry so hit or miss week to week? Like, not trying to dog him, but he's not a very good tackle. Even when he has good games, a lot of his reps are kind of suspect. Like, he's not using great technique. He also, his performance depends a lot on who he's going up against. Like, he was going up against a really good front against the Jets, and they kind of exposed him. But when he goes up against someone like the Jaguars, where I'm pretty sure that they lined Josh Allen up on the left, so he's going up against Lewan, and Questenberry's trying to block like Chase on or whatever. Thank you, Penis69. Love that name. Dominique Jones, Evans was told to blitz. That makes sense. Like, I'll be honest, because that just seemed so like, I don't know what the word is, just like he was going on his own, going rogue there. So yeah, I mean, that does make sense, in which case it would be let's actually go back to that play really quick. So we are on number 48, and let's see. So if they're having Evans, I didn't hear this. I haven't been on Twitter all day, but so assuming that they're having Evans blitz this A gap, or doing a run blitz, then this play would either be David Long's fault or Harold Landry's fault. So David Long would either be supposed to loop and replace Evans' gap. And yeah, I mean, there's no way it would be Landry's fault, because there wouldn't be anybody else in the C gap. So yeah, I mean, if Evans if that was like the play call, then that's on David Long then, or potentially, I mean, they're not going to have the free safety replacing that on 2nd and 5. Yeah. So very well could be David Long's fault. Would not surprise me. Doesn't really change anything as far as like my overall opinion of Rashaan Evans, but it's interesting. Avery Williamson, yeah, I would consider doing that. And thank you, JD Dorfman, for that comment. I really appreciate it. Yeah, after this stream, I'm probably gonna go back and check out a few Avery Williamson games, see what I watch every game, but I'm not watching every single player. So you kind of get the general idea, but I'm definitely going to see what Avery Williamson can bring. Appreciate everybody for joining. This is my first stream. I was kind of nervous there was going to be like 0 people watching, and then I would just be talking into a void. But looks like Jeff Swaim, another missed block. Nate Davis. It looks like Nate Davis kind of like stands up. I think maybe I saw Mike Herndon tweeted this play. Looks like Davis, like, he doesn't get off. Yeah, he probably thought it was like on 2 or something, and then everybody's moving, and he's like, wait, is this a false start or what? Second and 9 Oh yeah, coverage bust here for the Jags. Not that Michael Pruitt like did anything on this play, but I will use this as further evidence or further ammo in my Michael Pruitt tight end 1 agenda. Thank you, Jer Beard, maybe. All right, D Brown Productions, appreciate it. Zell goes hard. I'm actually wearing my PFF sweatshirt, which like is one of the most comfortable sweatshirts ever. The PFF job was like, I barely had that job. So basically, I'm super into like, I find football analytics. PFF isn't really analytics, but like charting and just kind of metrics for like player performance. I find all that stuff super interesting. And I follow a few of like the PFF guys on Twitter, and I think one of them tweeted a link that they were hiring. And I kind of knew about the process of charting PFF games, and it didn't sound that appealing. Really good pursuit by David Long here. Making sure to watch Monty Rice every time he's in the game. Didn't sound too appealing, but I wanted to see what their process looked like what what they used. They have this, they send you this 400 something page guide for grading and charting. I mean, there's an entire page on the definition of a wham block and what, how you grade a guard that attacks this shoulder on a wham block, and everything that you could think of. And so I basically just kind of wanted to see all of that. I wasn't really planning on actually working there, but I applied. They sent me Georgia and Bama. Was that the national championship game? Yeah, basically had me chart that. And it was kind of a round. It was basically like if you chart that game with good enough accuracy, then they send you another game. I think they sent me Coastal Carolina and some scrub team. Did that, and then I did the third one. Or no, then they sent me the third one. Yeah, no, I did the third one, and then I did like one game for the regular season, and was like, yeah, I'm quitting, because charting a game, I mean, you have to chart literally everything. You're timing the punt hang times. You are putting down every single time that someone gets contacted. It's a pretty tedious process, and you don't get paid very much. Job title was data analyst, and they hire like April or May. So that's when you want to look. If you're trying to get into that sort of field, it's definitely a good first job to kind of have on your resume. Yeah, no, it's people like it's a cool thing that I can tell people I worked at PFF, and it's like always an interesting thing to say, but not wouldn't recommend that job. You get access to all their stats though, which is super cool. Stuff that they don't even put on PFF Elite. I could look up what the player's EPA per play was in press coverage or whatever. Stuff like that. All right. Landry's going to do a little spin move here. Someone asked how Monty Rice has been playing. He's only been in for a few snaps. He hasn't really been targeted or anything, or, He hasn't messed up though. So Monty Rice bites on the play action. I like that he's getting back, finding someone to cover at least. But to the person who was, let's see, yeah, Zell goes hard. If you go to PFF, like PFF, Google like PFF jobs, they have actual jobs and internships where you're doing a lot more interesting stuff, like as far as research and development. If you're into media type of stuff, you need to know Adobe Studio, but they definitely like look out for that kind of stuff. Working as a data analyst is a good way to get your foot in the door, though. You could maybe become the person that runs their Twitter, because whoever that is needs to be fired. They have like one of the worst Twitter accounts. So it looks like Long gets kind of hung up on. They're running a GH counter. Long thinks doesn't recognize that the H-back's pulling. Tries to fit this gap. Recognizes his mistake too early, but he's hung up on Landry. Can't get over there in time. Monty Rice does the right thing. He sees it. He sees the play pretty much from the jump. Gets over there. Yeah, Rice does what he was supposed to do. Nice job. Monty Rice, I mean, like, I could be wrong. If the one thing you develop from watching like 200 draft prospects every year is humility, because there are so many guys that I thought would be locks that ended up being terrible, and vice versa. But Monty Rice, in college at least, was a really good player. Jeffrey Simmons here blowing this play up. This is as big of an impact as a pass rusher that I've seen Simmons make in a game this season. And the Jags' interior of the offensive line isn't bad either. Ooh, look at this bend by Landry. Just man, dude, Landry is a freak athlete. Have you spoken on Farley? No, he hasn't gotten in the game yet. We are in the second quarter, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. And the play like on this list that's highlighted, that's the play that we're on. If you guys want to see what the down distance, yard line, everything is for a play. All right, let's check out Monty Rice here. So a little takes on that block. Well, it's kind of driven out. But good job engaging. That's a nice play by Long. Long has that kind of, he's he's similar to Rashaan Evans in this is well, first of all, this is what I'm talking about, what we were talking about earlier about how Long is able to avoid blocks. So he's not a guy where if a right tackle is running full speed at him that he can just, stack and shed like Bobby Wagner might be able to. So he has to kind of be able to basically juke a guy out. And this is if you watch Monty or if you watch David Long closely, you'll see this all the time. His ability to just bounce around, kind of zigzag, and end up right in the same spot is elite. And it's different. Linebackers coaches, any defensive coach will always tell players don't run around blocks. But this is different than running around blocks because Rashaan Evans does this thing where instead of engaging, he'll just run around blocks and he'll end up in terrible position. But David Long isn't running around. He bounce. Now he's right back where he needs to be in the blink of an eye. And then, but he's also, what I was saying where he's similar with Rashaan Evans is that he'll kind of freestyle a little bit. The difference is that he just makes a lot more plays than Rashaan Evans. So this is interesting. So we've got cover one. What are they sending a blitz? Yeah, they're rushing 5. So cover one with a little double stunt action. This is interesting. A few plays ago they had. So when Tennessee's coming, or when the other team's coming out in a bunch formation, they're doing this kind of V action with one press, and they'll have the other play they had the press corner take the first in breaking route. Now they're having one of these off corners take it. I'll have to go back and look at. I bet Tennessee. I bet the Titans are changing the assignment based on the down and distance, because I think that other play was 3rd and short maybe. Right now it's 3rd and 8. So that off corner is going to have a little bit more time to get over to that crossing route. I bet that's what the difference is. But great makeup speed by Fulton. Looks like, can't tell if he tipped that ball. I couldn't tell from the broadcast. Let's see if this angle tells us something. Yeah. Wait. No, doesn't tip it, but at least disrupts the play for sure. Yeah, man, Brandon Simmons, are you Jeffrey Simmons' dad? But yeah, Simmons has been phenomenal. If Fulton's injury isn't significant and he can play Monday, I think we have a great chance of upsetting. Yeah, I still use the UK Game Pass account because I paid for it, so I'm gonna get my use out of it. But this basically, when the All 22 comes out, I just I turn on the game, screen record it, go like make some lunch or take a shower, do whatever, and then I put it into tempo video. I was explaining this at the beginning of the stream, but I use tempo video to chart all the games. I can really easily chop it up into all of these different plays. And then I've basically got an Excel file, but every row is connected to a play. And then I'll go through and chart all this stuff. So personnel, formation, motion, box, front, stunt, blitz, run concept, what coverage they're in, whether they're in press or off, and then I grade every single player. Basically, I do like the PFF grading scale, but then this makes it really easy where I can go back and I can say, I can filter all of these and look at every game. and be like, let me look at all of Rashaan Evans' negatively graded plays in zone coverage, or let me look at every time Harold Landry pressures the quarterback off of a stunt, like that sort of thing. Makes it really easy, especially at the end of the season when I'm doing film rooms, because if I notice something that I think might be a trend, then I can go and look at everything like that. 1st and 10. Ooh, I like this. Yeah. Read option. I would do the read option with Tannehill 2 or 3 times every game. Good job sliding. And I think they ran the ball a couple times with Jeremy McNichols, which I don't love McNichols as a runner, but I do like putting some run plays with Jeremy McNichols on film, so that the defense has to at least respect it. But yeah, when you have a mobile quarterback and you throw in a couple read option plays, or just designed runs with the quarterback, I think that's such a great thing to do, because if the read option offense has basically been figured out, but if the defense isn't prepping for that all week and you just kind of throw a couple curveballs, that's a really high percentage play, I think. Yeah, so next play they do a little looks like duo. No, not duo. Really good switch to this angle. Great job by Lawan. Does he hold? Yeah. Lawan gets away with a little hold there. Oh well. How upsetting would it be to spend all this money on Vic Beasley, Clowney, and Bud Dupree and then not? Well, Vic Beasley and Clowney, they were just 1-year deals, so they don't. We're done with their cap hits. That won't affect our ability to bring Landry back. I talked about this a little bit earlier, so I won't rehash it all, but I'm a little hesitant still at this point about re-signing Landry to a long-term deal, because with him and Dupree, you would have like $40 million invested in edge rusher, and you're still not sure if you've got a true number one guy. I think you need to franchise tag Landry at this point, and then if he keeps it up, you still have the opportunity to extend him, and it might cost you $4 or $5 million more. But I would pay $4 million to just have that added sample size, that added sense of security. Because, look at the Chiefs with Frank Clark getting like 20 something million. Frank Clark is like the 7th highest paid player in the NFL, and he's barely a starting caliber edge defender. I don't know. I'm a big sample size guy. Like I need to see things for multiple seasons, or at least more than 5 games at least, until I'm all in. See what they're doing with this passing concept. Is Jeffrey Simmons actually your cousin, Brandon, or are you kidding? Yeah, exactly, Zell. Like, that's the thing, is like PFF has PFF Ultimate, which is, so they make most of their money by selling their data to NFL teams, and what that is PFF Ultimate, where they basically kind of have what I was describing, except with every NFL and every college team, where you can just do all these filters and bam, it pulls up all the clips. It's the most efficient way to scout. And the only people that have access to it are NFL teams. This is just a busted coverage, it looks like. Cover 3. That guy just gets hung up on the play action and basically misses Rodgers on this flag route. That's easy as it gets. But yeah, no. And so I basically have just kind of created that for myself. I obviously don't have it for every NFL team because I don't have near the time to do that. But luckily, I only cover the Titans, so. Tag and trade. I don't know, I mean, depend what you could get for him. Like, if you could get a first-round pick for Harold Landry, would not hate that. I'm not sure if you could get that, though. Yeah, Ferkser against a slot corner. He's not going to be creating a ton of separation. First and 10, yeah. I just don't really. I don't like Tennessee's not a good shotgun open formation passing team. I mean, I know they have a running back in here, but we haven't really talked about pass protection, but good blocking by Lewan there. Yeah, sometimes like with Quessenberry, it's like, I don't know if this is technically him allowing a pressure. Maybe it is, but not ideal. Have you got to the play? No, we haven't gotten to that play yet. Have not gotten to the play. Trade Evans if someone offers a second. Pro. If someone offered, if I was like in charge of the Titans and someone offered me a second round pick for Evans, I would like report that person to their boss. Like if a GM offered, if I'm John Robinson and a GM offered me a second round pick for Rashaan Evans, I would like call that team's owner and be like, hey, I'm just telling you, man, your general manager is an idiot. Like, he needs to be fired. Like I would take the trade, first of all, but man. All right, we got a sack here. Not really. This is technically a sack, but so looks like Davis and Quessenberry. Is it Quessenberry or Kessenberry? I always feel weird saying his name, but could do an okay job picking up the stunt, but Quessenberry kind of loses his balance. Let's see if anybody was open. Trips. Doing like a little flood concept. Titans have been running flood a lot in the red zone, I've noticed. But like Pruitt, yeah, just like no one getting open really. I mean, maybe you've got AJ Brown here. Is this? No. Yeah, there's no one open. Said it right the first time, Quessenberry. Yeah. Bengals. Oh, someone said that to me on Twitter. Wait, Donnie D, are you Are you That's Random? Got like different names on every account. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Donnie. Like, we'll see when we get to it, but I'm definitely guessing that they like came out in base and wrong, like they came out in the wrong personnel or something. This is a throwaway, I hope. Pass protection not great. Ben Jones just not ready for that stunt. And then, yeah, man, Questenberry. The old chop rip, it looks like. Looking like Yannick Ngakoue. Fat Yannick Ngakoue with the chop rip. Right, 1st and 10. What is this? End of the half. Prevent defense. Yeah, we don't need to watch all that. Is this a designed cutback? I'm not really sure why Henry's cutting back here. I mean, he's got, like, this A gap is wide open. Really no reason to cut back that run. No, Marlon, we've got Caleb Farley coming up. Oh, God, we need a tackle so bad, but, like, I get the first-round tackle fatigue. Like, I don't know if I can stomach another first-round tackle, but I was talking about this on Twitter. Like, I know that there are going to be people clamoring for a first-round tight end or a first-round linebacker, and I don't care who it is. Like, I am anti first-round tackles. I'm anti first-round linebacker. I'm anti first-round running back. Anti first-round guard. A center, like, back half of the first round, if it's someone at like a Tyler Linderbaum quality center, I can get behind that. But I have like a very stringent positional value mindset where the first round, second round, and third round, I'm attacking valuable positions, which is receiver. Well, assuming you've got quarterback figured out, receiver, offensive tackle, cornerback, edge rusher, and safety to an extent. Like those are like the bulk of what I'm investing draft capital in, because this is a nice, let's go look at Marcus Johnson's release here. Kind of does like a little swim move. Stacks, change of direction. Where does someone in the chat, if you know where Marcus Johnson came from? I feel like it was the Colts. I know Mike Herndon was beating the drum. Is that a term? Whatever. He was saying like Marcus Johnson was good. Dude looks impressive. And when I first saw this play, I was thinking it was AJ Brown the way he was moving. But yeah, man, he's wide receiver 3, I think, pretty clearly. But back to the draft thing. Austin Gale, who is a host of the Tailgate podcast, which I would recommend, but he was saying like, even if you don't subscribe to the whole positional value thing and you're one of these like, oh, it's just the best 11 guys on the field or whatever, think about the draft as you're going out to save money, and it just makes sense to invest draft capital in positions that cost a lot on the open market. Good edge rushers are getting paid $20 million plus a year. Even bad edge rushers are getting paid that. So having a edge rusher on a rookie contract is just so valuable to your team from a team building perspective. Having if you get in the habit of drafting a bunch of guards in the first round and stuff, it's like good guards. You can get a good guard in free agency for $7 million. So there's so much less of you're getting so much less value there. It's like it's obviously great that you get AJ Brown because he's a great player, but what's really great about it is that you're paying him nothing. Yeah. What are people talking about the Colts? But yeah, no, the Colts have good players at all of the least important positions. It's kind of funny. Chris Ballard is really overrated in my opinion. All right. Lawan, okay job, could have finished better. Saffold, okay. Yeah, just three mediocre blocks on the left side. Blow that play up. 3rd and 4 here. This is a dime. Like, it's only a 4-yard pass, but that is an insanely tight window to the field side. AJ Brown he's never been the best route runner, but his release is always really solid. And then you just have a little like spot route from Marcus Johnson that he's going to run a little route right here that kind of just sets up a natural screen to give AJ Brown that extra bit of separation. Tannehill has a clean pocket to throw in. Good pass pro by Derrick Henry. Is who out for the year now? Good block by Swaim. That's the thing with Jeff Swaim is it's on a just snap to snap basis. He's not that bad. He just has a few plays that really screw you over. Taylor Lewan, great reach block here. Oh, I guarantee you. That is Lewan, right? I guarantee you when they walked into their O-line meeting, Keith Carter had this play pulled up. I would recommend if you're really interested in like Titans blocking. Look up Keith Carter's coaching clinic on YouTube. It was from this past summer, and he breaks down like how they teach outside zone, gets into a lot of the techniques of reach blocking, how they teach it, shows a lot of practice clips and stuff. It's a really informative clinic. I think it costs like $15 or something. But yeah, Taylor Lewan was great in pass protection. It wasn't really a bounce back game in that sense because since week 1 he's been really good in pass pro. But he's not been doing great run blocking so far though. This is a bounce back run blocking game from Lewan. I haven't noticed like a blown block really. Good reach block from Jones here. Yeah. 2nd and 2. Play action. This is the play where Henry like blocks Henry is trying to chip the edge and he blocks Lewan, and it's kind of funny. I don't know if y'all saw Rashaan Slater. I think it was Rashaan Slater. Yeah, told the running backs to start chipping or stop chipping. He was like, "You're just messing me up," which is a real thing because it affects your pass set. This is obviously like play action, kind of move in the pocket, so it's a different situation. Oh, Saffold, I think. Yeah, no, 77. Like Lewan still got it. I tweeted about this, but obviously the fact. Oh, here another read option. And then Henry just hammers this dude. Oh my. But yeah, I was tweeting about how Lewan gets a lot of criticism because like he's got the podcast and like there's that cringy subset of Titans fans that call him daddy or whatever. But you know, week 1 coming off of an ACL, he's got the nerves going up against Chandler Jones, has a bad game. But since then, he had one bad pass blocking rep against the Jets, but other than that, like he's been really good. And if there's people that are still talking about how Taylor Lewan sucks or whatever, then that's a great indicator that they don't watch film, which is fine. Like people got jobs and kids. Not everyone has time to watch film, but I'm just saying. So now they're going to do a little toss. Love this use of motion, a little like return motion. Get him here. Bam. Bring him back. Toss in the other direction. I'm always a fan of motioning away from the run play. And I'm always against motioning towards the run play if that motion is not part of the blocking. Like if you're going to motion a tight end to the play side and then he's going to be like a lead blocker, that's perfectly fine. But if you're just like motioning towards the play side and then it's like a receiver that's just going out wide, all you're doing is you're getting the linebackers leaning in the direction that they need to be going towards. It's really the one bad use of motion to me. Who is that? 80. Oh, great run block by Marcus Johnson. Right there. again, like, I don't know why Nate Davis can't land blocks at the second level. It looks like on this one he's thinking that he needs to block 37, but I mean it's just outside zone, right? Yeah, it's just outside zone. He's uncovered, so he's taken this linebacker. Like, that's Henry breaks the tackle, but still. Yeah, dude, Henry can be our fullback if he ever breaks down. Maybe like could be that Derrick Henry just never ages, and he's just the Titans running back until football gets like banned, until it's like the year 2150 and the government bans football because it's too violent, and like then Derrick Henry's just 150 and he's been the Titans running back for centuries. This is a really good block by Nate Davis, just as I was saying. Kind of could have gotten illegal use of the hands there. He kind of clotheslines that dude's head. Jones seals it off. 61, 11. Good job by 11. Like, Corey Levin right here could easily just keep running in this direction. A lot of linemen, when they're blocking in the second level, they start running in one direction, and they just expect the linebacker to follow their trajectory and meet them at the point. Like, sometimes you have to adjust where you're going, but he just keeps square with the linebacker and says, like, all right, if you're going to play the patient game, then I'll just seal you off right here. Levin got a 0 pass blocking grade from PFF, so we'll see what that was about. All right, so read option. Yep. Oh, yeah, great play by Landry. So he just has that ability to, like, man, Harold Landry's such an interesting player. This ability to stop his momentum and square up. So, read option, the quarterback's reading the defensive end. If he crashes, then the quarterback keeps it. If he hovers around, hands it off. Pretty simple. Landry, I guess, I'm not sure if he was like faking. Yeah, no. So Landry's following the handoff, and then he's like, oh, wait, this is read option. Lawrence sees Landry crashing, says, I'm going to keep it, but Landry's able to just stop on a dime, and then the play is pretty much blown up. I talked about this a lot in the Jets film room, but the way they're using Landry this year is really interesting. They already played him last year at off-ball linebacker a lot, but they're doing it a lot more where he's almost playing kind of like that Dante Hightower role a lot, where he'll line up. They'll be in like their even front, and then they'll just have Landry as a linebacker sort of just roaming around, and he might drop into coverage. They might blitz and have him rush the passer, and then he can defend the run. I think Todd Downing has done a great job of taking advantage of Landry's unique skill set. This is what I'm talking about, how like pressure numbers and sack numbers can kind of be inflated. Not that this is a bad play by Landry at all. It's a really good play. But when I'm paying 20 million a year, which is I think what will be close to Landry's asking price. When I'm paying that much for an edge rusher, like I want a guy that's consistently winning one-on-one off the edge. And like he had contain here, it looks like. So it's not a criticism of this play. It's just like a cleanup sack, a second effort sack. It's a great play, but it doesn't move the needle a ton as far as what I think teams should value from pass rushers. So yeah, like I'm super impressed by Harold Landry this year, and he's been a lot better. But I don't think he's been as dominant of a pass rusher as the numbers would say. He's getting a lot schemed up, which I mean, you can't just it takes the player has to be good for you to be able to scheme them up, right? You can't just do that with anyone. But all right, let's see what happens on this play. Davis, pretty good block by Davis there. Davis can't get the reach there, and then I mentioned this in the might have been the Colts video, but we don't really see Henry take a lot of these poorly blocked plays, just kick them outside. And I just feel like he's so lethal when he's kind of got that leading stiff arm and he's got DBs trying to tackle him. I'd love to see him just kind of force stuff to the outside more, and it might not work, but just to see what happens. Second, let me check the chat. Hey, Fishspit, appreciate the $10, and you guys are welcome. This has been really fun. I think I'm going to make this a weekly thing, doing a live stream of my first watch through. I have to cut down a lot of stuff for the film rooms on YouTube, just because like the actual editing, like the video editing, adding the player indicators and stuff like that is what takes most of the time. But on a live stream, I can kind of just go over a lot more stuff. I'm gonna try to, now that I kind of know how this live streaming thing works, I'm gonna try to figure out some way I can like draw on the screen for next week to add some stuff. And yeah, Ferkser really, the only production Ferkser had was just not getting enough yards on 3rd and long, pretty much. All right, 4th and 2. First of all, love the decision to go for it. 4th and short in your own, or in the opponent's territory, always go for it. All right, so coming out in bunch, gonna motion Rodgers up into the backfield, so you've got man coverage. Bring Rodgers out on a flat route. Yeah, so Tannehill's like, all right, I know I've got man coverage, so I'm gonna have the opportunity to scramble if my first read isn't there. Let's go to this view. Looks like can't see the receivers from there. Looks like his first read was probably like A.J. Brown, but 37 trying to come over, clogs that up. No one's open, but man coverage, got the opportunity to scramble and then gets out of bounds. Good decision-making operation of the offense by Ryan Tannehill. All right, now we've got Wildcat with Batson. again, it's like I'm not even sure if his eyes look like he's reading the defensive end, but he's not making the correct read. What does he get? 4 yards here. He's probably just like, hey, they're giving me the ball. I'm not giving this shit up. Which I don't blame him, I guess. But I mean, I feel like, well, I don't know if Henry would have had much, but I mean, put this dude on skates. That's Cody Paul right there. Yeah, like I think it's some bussin' with the boys thing. They call him like the daddy of Nashville or something. I mean, I love Taylor Lewan. All those guys like Taylor Lewan, Wesley Woodyard, DeMarco Murray, Brian Arakpo, that whole era of Titans football, I have a soft spot for because they kind of brought the Titans back from being from the 2-14 dark days into being at least competitive. They started the 9-7 streak. So, all right, yeah. Here's the weekly or bi-weekly just disastrous blown block by Jeff Swaim. Like just misses. Just kind of barrels into no one right here. And really well blocked play outside of that. Good reach by Ben Jones. You've got Quessenberry sealing off. This is a good job by Quessenberry where like he's kind of at an awkward angle. Kind of at an awkward angle right here where 93, maybe Taven Bryan, I think, could easily just like shed Quessenberry outside and then emerge into this gap. But Quessenberry does a good job of driving that inside shoulder and forcing him outside. That's a really nice run block by Quessenberry. But yeah, again, like I was talking about, another example of, I mean, I've seen so many run plays this year that are just perfectly blocked across the board, and then you've got one person losing their block, and it blows the entire play up. It's kind of how it goes. All right, we got 3rd and 8 here. Gonna loop and yeah, Ben Jones looks like just doesn't get over there in time. You know, we'll get to the right side in a second. Some of this is on Levin. Like, he needs to recognize this stunt more quickly and be ready to, you know, when you've got a stunt, the two linemen are basically just passing off the rushers and trying to exchange them. He needs to be more ready to like accept number 96 from Ben Jones, you know, and that could be a reason that Ben Jones has to stick with him for a little bit longer and then isn't able to get over there. All right, let's see what Nate Davis is up to here. Just like yeah, Davis is a like mess. Well, first of all, I'll say I've gotten a lot of questions, people asking what happened to Nate Davis. Hey, thank you, JD. Appreciate it. a lot of people asking like what happened to Nate Davis. Like he was this great guard last year and now he's given up sacks and stuff. Nate Davis has never been a good pass blocker, like ever. Even last year, the reason that he got all pro votes or whatever, which I'm not sure. I don't think Nate Davis was good enough to be an all pro. But the reason that he had a really good season last year was he was a really good run blocker. He was still a borderline liability in pass protection, and the issue is that, this is 3rd and 8, but Todd Downing hasn't done a great job of masking the Titans' offensive line issues. Last year, the Titans did not have a good pass blocking offensive line, just from a personnel standpoint. But they ran so much play action and they moved the pocket with play action boot to the point where you never really noticed that they were a bad pass blocking offensive line. The only time you really noticed it is when we were down so much that we just had to go into shotgun and we couldn't run play action because the defense isn't going to buy it because we're down 3 scores in the fourth quarter. That's what the strobe light's going on here. All right. So the Packers game, the Browns game, that's where you could really tell that we weren't great in pass protection. Tannehill didn't have a ton of time. So Downing has not done a good job of shielding the offensive line from having to get into too many true pass sets. And so people are noticing the pass protection issues a lot more. All right, 97. What is that? That's 90. Okay, I think that's Naquan Jones. I will say about Naquan Jones, last year I scouted, which by scout I mean I watched at least 4 games. I scouted close to 250 prospects. I think it was like 240. And Naquan Jones was my lowest graded prospect of anyone that I scouted. Like he was a big dude that was just consistently getting pushed off of the line. And so when a lot of people were talking about him as like the Daquan Jones replacement, I did not see it. And from limited snaps, I've not been impressed by Naquan Jones. Maybe Tart was like injured for a play, but don't think he should be in. Let's see what our linebackers are doing. Yeah, it's like, what is Rashaan Evans doing? I mean, first of all, 97. This is like the 3rd play where he's gotten pushed back 5 yards. 1st and 10, 3rd quarter. Yeah, could be injuries, but I feel like we have enough on the defensive line that either Simmons or Tart should at least be in, because defensive line is not helping out the linebackers. Evans just kind of takes himself out of the play. Byard's there to clean it up. All right, peace out, JD. Yeah, facts, Cameron. Games we haven't given a bunch of sacks. Do you think that was more play calling or just not as much talent on the other team's defense? Let's see. Trying to think of the games. What was week 2? Seahawks. Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely correlates with talent. I also think, like the Seahawks, I thought that we did a lot to kind of mask the offensive line issues. The Jets, The Jets game, I really don't have a lot of criticism of Todd Downing from a protection standpoint. I mean, he was sending chip help to the right side. He was triple teaming the right side at times, and it was really a case of guys losing one-on-ones, which, you can have the best scheme, the best play call. If guys are losing one-on-ones across the board, there's nothing that you can really do. And Questenberry was just getting worked. Autry looks like, yeah, definitely a little hold there. I was watching this game like alone in my room. I think I yelled out hold on this play. I'm not going to necessarily blame Autry for not setting the edge there. Let's see who we got in. Is that 90 again? Can't really see the number, but yeah, D-line not helping us out. Okay, not bad from David Long. I would like him to maybe hit this play side shoulder a little stronger, kind of set the edge a little bit, force that cut back. Evans does what he's supposed to do. Just missed tackles. And then Byard there, as always, cleaning the play up. 1st and 10. Play action. Also felt like, yeah, I mentioned that the Jaguars, I think the refs really screwed the Jaguars. Honestly, I think that this game was should have been a lot closer. You've got the fumble touchdown. You've got Trevor Lawrence's fumble at the goal line was questionable, and then there were a few borderline like pass interferences. I kind of feel like it's hard to tell. Yeah. I mean, all right, so Chris Jackson right here in the slot. He gets spun around by this release. Really good recovery, though. Recovery speed. Just too handsy, almost too good of recovery speed. He kind of stumbles over the receiver. So it's good. It's good to see that he can catch up there, but not great technique. Play action, slip screen. Yeah, another just like out of control missed tackle by David Long, kind of reverting back to his old self. Simmons hustling down the field, like to see it. Let's see. Yeah, Monty Rice, he was in there earlier, he wasn't getting he was doing fine. He wasn't in a ton of compromising situations, but then he got injured. I think Evans got injured, and then Monty Rice replaced him, and then Rice maybe got injured right when Evans was good to come back. I don't know. But yeah, man, I agree. I have seen enough of Evans. There was another chat. Grab Njoku from the Browns. Yeah, I mean, He had a great game against the Chargers. I'm not sure if the Browns are like itching to trade him. I don't know. Like, that's interesting. I would have to go back and watch him and see what he's like as a blocker. And Njoku's not a great tight end. He's a solid tight end, and you would be pretty sure this is the last year of his rookie contract. So if you traded too much for him, then you would kind of feel pressured to pay him. I'm not sure what he would be asking for. I'm not sure if Njoku is like a 1 year rental, if that really moves the needle too much. So 59 gets tripped up. Long gets moved off. Farley, yeah. This might be Caleb Farley's first play, but he needs to be more proactive setting the edge there. Gets caught falling for the bells and whistles. Okay. So Tart's going to penetrate this A gap. What is, like, not sure what Long is doing. I mean, like, who is responsible for this strong side A gap? I don't know. It's wide open. He just kind of just waits for the guard to come and tackle him. 2nd and 2. Maybe he was expecting play action. What's Evans up to on this play? Like, again, Evans just trying to take the shortcut. When has this ever worked for you, bro? Like, if someone can find me a play from the last 2 years where Evans runs around a block and actually makes a good play, I will I'll give you a cookie. Desmond King for the Texans. I haven't watched. Did I watch the Texans all 22? I might have watched the Texans all 22 week 1. I need to go and I'm gonna go watch this week to see what was up with the Patriots defense. I haven't noticed him getting beat like a ton, anything major. He's been like grading out as pretty average, I know. I think he's in a better scheme fit because Texans have Lovie Smith, right? So they're running a ton of like cover 2. Desmond King, yeah, he needs to be a zone slot corner. He was fine for us, but running a lot of man coverage is just not his skill set. All right, play action, Landry, pursuit. What's the coverage like? Do we have Farley in here? Oh no, so Fulton got injured. Farley came in for like 2 snaps, and then Fulton got injured again. Was this a designed run? This guy's blocking. What is this play? You got play action. This Evans gets trucked. Okay. First and 10. not sure what the Jags are doing there. And then Avery Williamson again. I assume people are coming in late, but like he's a really solid early down run defending linebacker. He's older, not super athletic, not a guy you want in a ton of compromising coverage positions, but certainly better than Rashaan Evans. And I'm gonna watch a few games of his after this stream, and I'll have some better insight into Avery Williamson for sure. Okay, good play by Long. Nothing crazy, but good play. What's Evans do here? Rashaan. Second and 9. And this play was a penalty. Like, I think it was it might have been illegal, like holding or illegal contact by Rashaan Evans. It's like, okay, so are the Titans in man? No, they're in like, looks like they're in some, do they have, they've got 2, 4. Oh, they're rushing 5. Yeah, so they're in like a fire zone, 3 deep sort of deal. What is this technique? So you can tell it's going to be a shallow cross, and it's like he's playing basketball. He faces him, grabs him, and then like, I mean, that is terrible. You should never be in this. I assume, yeah, they're not really in like cover 3. They're in either like match or man or something. But regardless, he's manned up on this tight end, and Man. All right, 1st and goal. Lawrence takes this. Again, Rashaan Evans. All right, Simmons gets pushed back a little bit. Naquan. All right, so Naquan's gonna penetrate. I guess, yes. I mean, I guess Evans is responsible for this A gap. At a certain point though, I'm not sure why he dives inside. Like, it's not like Simmons has set a hard edge to where Lawrence is going to need to cut back. It's just, it's instincts in these sort of situations as far as, what shoulder to attack when they're pulling a guard, and it's like he doesn't know how to play to his help. Simmons could have done better, but you would want Rashaan Evans to kind of freestyle a little bit better. 2-point conversion there. Addressing free agency. I saw someone sign John Brown to their practice squad. That was the one guy that I was thinking could have been a good pickup. I haven't looked at free agency except for the tight ends. I was looking to see if there's any tight ends that I liked, and it's a wasteland out there. William no, Rashaan Evans played some edge, and no, he was not effective at it. And then I do kind of share that, Marcus, a little bit. Not that I don't think we're gonna sign him to some big contract, but I could definitely see Evans. Johnson. I could definitely see Evans, the Titans signing him to like a 1-year, $4 million contract or something, which I'm not nervous about it from a cap perspective, but I'm nervous about it from the perspective that he would be playing over guys like Monty Rice, even David Long. Yeah, Jones gets kind of pushed back, forces Tannehill to throw off his back foot, miss the throw. You'd like Tannehill is not great at what I think one of the things that makes Tom Brady so great, and as far as pocket presence, it's not like being able to scramble when the play breaks down and make these crazy Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes throws on the move or anything, but just the subtle little steps that you take within like a 2x2 box to give your blockers better angles and give yourself enough room to set your feet properly for the throw. Like at this point, you'd like to see him just take a little step to the left, to give himself some space to where he doesn't have to throw off of his back foot. Just little subtle stuff like that. Yeah, it looks like this might be, they've got this like tackle tight end combo right here. It looks like Lewan was supposed to get to the second level and he just didn't get there fast enough. I don't love having Jeff Swaim trying to reach block a defensive end to begin with, but would the Titans keep Evans over Jayon? I don't really see the Titans keeping Jayon because he's kind of shown that he's not really able to stay healthy, and I love Jayon as a player. I think that he's the best cover linebacker that the Titans have by a pretty significant margin, I think. I don't know, though. I mean, it could be... Here's another one where... Oh, that was the same play. It could be that a similar sort of thing as last year where Jayon doesn't have a big market and he comes back on a like 1-year prove it deal type of thing. If you can get Jayon back for cheap and nothing long term, I'm all for that. I think he's a really good player and seems like a good dude also. I always root for Jayon to succeed. All right, so we've got cover 2. Okay, I said this on Twitter that the Titans should delete cover 2 from the playbook. Not necessarily true. But cover two, and this is my opinion, but I think a lot of people would agree with me. So every coverage has certain things that it can take away and certain weaknesses. Cover two's weaknesses are the deep sideline right here, which is called the honey hole, and I hate that name because I always feel like really weird saying that. But the honey hole, and then the deep middle, like 10, 15 yards down here, right in front of these safeties and behind the linebackers. Those are the soft spots of cover two. Every defense has them, but I think cover two, the soft spots of cover two are more easily attackable and more difficult to kind of like patch up than any other coverage. And so I'm almost never a fan of coming out in too high and then just straight dropping into cover two. The only time I would ever run cover two is if I was rolling into it from single high, or, running like inverted cover two, or anything where I'm disguising it, because the Colts run a ton of cover two. They did this a ton against the Titans, where they would just come out in too high. The Titans would run they would come out in too high and then just drop into cover two. The Titans would run smash, where they send a corner route and then a little hitch route, and it's like almost impossible to stop that from just straight cover two. And then, you play action, you get Rashaan Evans to bite. Has no idea. He's just covering no one, running in circles, and then this middle of the field is wide open. And then terrible tackling across the board. Who is that? I think Crookshank misses the tackle. Long misses the tackle. Jackson, Byard, everybody misses the tackle. But yeah, like 1st and 10, I mean, if it's 3rd and 18 or something and you just want to play straight cover two, whatever. But on 1st and 10, you've got a rookie quarterback and you're just going to show him cover two and then play cover two. What is the point of that? All right, so here's another borderline pass interference. Let's look at the start of the route by Fulton. He's on a tight end. All right. Inside leverage. Looks like the Titans are in like cover one with a hole defender. No, cover one. So they're doing a dog blitz, which a dog blitz is when a green dog blitz is when a linebacker's in man coverage on a running back, but if the running back stays in to pass protect, then he blitzes. So it's sort of like an option blitz, depending on what the running back does. But yeah, Fulton, inside leverage, good recovery speed, and then, yeah, just like no reason to, that's pass interference for sure. No reason to grab that outside. You're not really beat. It would have to be a perfectly placed throw. So yeah, that's just unnecessary. Peace out, Donnie. All right, we're in the 4th quarter. We're getting there. 2nd and 10. Simmons gets pushed off the ball initially, but good job recovering there. He's pushing you, but he's giving you that kind of soft inside shoulder, so bounce back right through there. Make the tackle. Good job. Is this a penalty? Oh yeah, this is 3rd and 7. I think this is Jenkins penalty. Oh yeah, Game Pass cut off this play, so you don't get to see Jenkins actually make the interception. And I think it was illegal contact, like maybe was it Breon Border? It was like something on the other side of the field. But 3rd and 7. We got press coverage for everybody that hates off coverage. Press coverage on 3rd and 7. Good jam by Jenkins. Receiver gets release, and then good recovery to transition out of there. Sticking with them. Really nice play by Jenkins, for sure. 1st and goal, play action. Yeah, so Farley gets beat here by Shenault. Yeah, I mean he's in a tough position. Like he's really on an island there. There's, especially with the play action, there's no inside help from the linebackers or anything. Yeah, that's tough. Chenault's a good route runner, especially in short stuff. Nice play by Byard. What do we got here? Yeah, just great recovery speed to break up this pass. Kevin Byard has just, like, the only bad Kevin Byard play of the year was against the Cardinals in the red zone, where they were in that like off cover 0, and Hopkins got him, but like you can't even blame Byard for that. That was bad play call. He was just in a really tough situation to begin with. 3rd and 5. Yeah, so they've got, I don't know. They've got Crookshank out on the tight end now. Wonder if, did we miss the touchdown that Landry was manned up on the tight end? I'll go back and figure that out. Really good pursuit by Byard. Again, the Jags kind of get screwed, in my opinion, on that play call. Hey, I appreciate it, Eddie. Yes, Sambrello retiring, that was pretty surprising. I did not see that coming. But I've obviously never played in the NFL, but when I've heard like veterans and, ex-NFL players talk about retiring, and especially retiring in the middle of the season, they've said it's like once you get to the point where you just can't go to a meeting anymore, like the thought of a meeting you dread, that's when they're like, yeah, it's time to hang it up. I've heard that so many times, that the position meetings are the thing, that's the driving force. So really good, good play by Tart. Not a ton of resistance. I think this guard, or This tackle was not expecting him to shoot the gap. He was expecting him to. He was trying to just pin him down. And then Chris Jackson on screens and runs, he's been phenomenal. He has been the biggest surprise to me this year. I was expecting nothing from Chris Jackson. So that's great to see. Look at Ben Jones just long arming this nose tackle. He doesn't even need two arms. Just sunned this dude. Really nice block by Nate Davis as well. Does a good job of driving him back and then adjusting his angle. Well, I don't know if he does that purposely. I think the lineman's trying to rip through. Ends up working out for the play though, because it opens up that gap even more for Henry. And then I don't really watch receivers run block unless it's a huge part of the play, but I've noticed Marcus Johnson doing some good run blocking down the field. Let's see. This play was a penalty holding on someone. I need to start writing down who these penalties are on. Still waiting to see Corey Levin really screw up. See what got him a 0 pass blocking grade. Let me check the chat. Let's see. Big Jeff. Yeah, dude. Like, Jeffrey Simmons, I mean, run defense, he is like an A player. Pass rushing, like you see the flashes. You see the flashes of great pass rushing, just like not even great, just dominant pass rushing, throwing dudes around. He's just got to do that consistently, I'm not sure what news you want me to repeat. Might be Sambrelo. Evans on the edge. Someone asked about Evans on the edge earlier. They played him on the edge some last year, and I mean, he doesn't have pass rushing moves. He basically he kind of tried to speed rush. He basically tried to do Harold Landry's move that Landry isn't great at, and Evans is even worse at it. So as far as rushing the passer, he doesn't add much. And I'm not sure that, with Autry, Evans, and then Ola's been doing pretty well. You don't need Evans on the edge. At that point, you're just kind of trying to force him into the lineup. And then as far as, hold on, let me look at this play first. Okay. We've got a little, dude, I watch an unhealthy amount of football, and I still cannot tell the difference between inside zone and duo. It's kind of like a meme on football Twitter of people pretending to argue about whether something is inside zone or duo. But I'm not sure. All right, well, I told Henry that he needs to start kicking stuff outside, and then that happens. But he's got this A gap open, right? Yeah, not great vision. As far as Radens at guard, in the preseason, he wasn't he was really, it's weird. He was really good pass protecting at right tackle against the Falcons, and then against the Bucks, he was just terrible. It's like it's like he had never played tackle before. You could just tell he was not comfortable with his kick slide. Like, he could not get into a pass set to save his life. That to me seems like an issue with switching sides, where he was not comfortable on the right side. At guard, he wasn't bad in pass protection. I didn't notice a ton of great things run blocking. It's preseason. It's a super small sample size. But I am interested to see. So this is really good pass pro by Levin here. Active hands, just like, yeah, so you make the first contact. Guy's going to try to counter, bring the hands back, let him do his little thing. Let him do this little move that he's got. Bring your hands back. Don't get caught up in all that BS. Bring them back, and the entire time you're maintaining balance, reset your base a little bit without sacrificing any ground. That's great pass pro. And I'm not mentioning it every play, but if you watch Lawan, like, dude locked down Josh Allen for the whole game. Let's see, what's Nate Davis doing here? So they're half slide to the right. They're not blitzing anyone on that side. Yeah, I mean, like, Davis needs to be proactive getting over there. Yeah, I agree about putting Radens in over Levin, because, yeah, I'm always in favor of, well, not always, but I'd much rather rookies, like, get that experience, even if they're not great. It'll be interesting with Radens, because at the time that when Lawan was kind of struggling and then he missed the Seattle game, I was thinking that might kind of be it for Lawan, and I thought Radens might be the left tackle of the future. Here's really good vision, just reading his keys, and then, yeah, could have had an interception. But with Saffold getting injured like every play, and I'm not sure that's a long-term thing. I think he has like one injury that he just keeps aggravating, and they're trying to rush him back too soon, so that's why they might be taking him out. But, you know, you could cut Saffold, save a lot of money. And so if Radens is fine at guard, you know, I always liked him as a tackle. So you'd like to see him be able to work out there, but he could be an option for sure. Yeah, the Sambrella thing is not great. I thought he was pretty good against, let's see, he came in against the Jets in like the second half. Actually, he gave up a few pressures. If I remember correctly, he was really good run blocking. But yeah, last year he came in and played really well. I will say, I mean, as bad as the O-line has been, this is kind of, I can't remember what this pass rush move is called. It has a name, but it's where you hook the inside arm under and bend I haven't seen Landry use this move too many times, but that's a really good way of like if you're a speed rusher and your tackles are really expecting it and you're kind of having trouble consistently winning there, adding that little arm hook move is a good way of helping you win the edge, and then also it helps you kind of leverage your momentum and bend in a little bit more easily. Dude, Farley, like the way that he can just make up, so like he gets, I mean, it's not like he gets burned, you know. He's trying to, so they're in cover one. He's trying to force the outside release. Doesn't do a good job of forcing the outside release and lets him get inside. But then look at how quickly Farley just makes up this ground. That was one of the difficult things about watching Farley as a prospect, because I mean he was my number one corner until the injury thing came out. But there would be so many plays that he would get a pass breakup or get an interception, but the technique was not good. Like he would get beat, but then just blazing recovery speed, and then he'd make the interception. And it's like, how do I evaluate? Like, how would I grade this play? Like, is this a good play or a bad play? We got Molden here. Let's see what Molden's doing. Yeah, comes up 3rd and 8, makes the tackle. Let's see. This is I love Molden playing zone coverage. I love him defending underneath stuff. But matching him up on a speedy slot receiver, and they just run like a deep fade or something, and you know, that's where he can kind of get exposed. It's kind of like the thing, Molden isn't a great scheme fit for this defense, and he's a really good player, and it was really good value for where they drafted him. I know they liked the meetings that they had with him, but sort of similar to Desmond King actually, where he's better suited to be in a zone system. Just sticky man coverage from Kevin Byard here. Byard, I mean, part of Byard's struggles last season were definitely that like the talent around him was not great, but he was also getting beat on routes like this a lot. He was just allowing a ton of separation, and he's been locked down when they're asking him to play man coverage. So that's huge to have Byard back to form. Yeah, like Pruitt misses this block kind of. This is just Henry like literally doing it all himself. Yeah, Molden is kind of like Logan Ryan. As bad as... Oh, yeah. What was I saying? It's late. I've been up so long. Got up at like 4:30 this morning. If it pops back into my head, I'll say it. Do you remember who I was talking about? It's streaming. This is the first time I've ever streamed. It's tough. Like I need to figure out how to get the chat up on the screen, where I can see it while I'm watching the film, because I'll be watching a play and then I'll go check the chat and then come back and something in the play that I want to comment on, and then I'll forget what I was saying or what I was answering. So I'll get better as we go along. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. We're at the home stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Chester Rogers. Sealing off Josh Allen. That's pretty impressive. Pruitt looks like he's got a... if he would have held on a little bit longer, that would have been a hold. Good block by Lawan. Touchdown here. Good job by Davis and Quessenberry. Outside zone exchange. Swaim, good block. Good block. Tommy Hudson. Tommy Hudson hasn't been terrible as a blocker. He's been pretty solid. I think that Briley Moore, I think he has a chance to be like a legitimate tight end one. I had him as a third round prospect. So I was super excited for us to get him as a UDFA. It sucks that he got injured, but the dude is a mauler in the run game. He's super fast. It's tough with like college tight ends because they get targeted like 10 times in a season. So sometimes it's kind of tough to evaluate them as receivers, but super athletic and just a tenacious blocker. So I'll be interested to see what he does. Let's check out Farley. Not too much. They're in... Looks like they're in like cover 3... Cover 3-ish. Not sure what Crookshank is doing. Yeah, they're in like cover 3, but Crookshank is just kind of hanging out. Oh yeah, I was just saying that Sambrello is like really solid last year when when he filled in. Fulton and Beyer did a great job. What's our weakness? Linebackers. Evans, Long didn't have great games. 50 viewers. I've been pretty pleasantly surprised by the viewing here. Yeah, just like it was really like linebackers. Like there were a couple penalties. Pass rush wasn't as great. Crookshank had a few coverage busts. Crookshank had poor tackling. Did Jenkins give up a play? I don't think Jenkins gave anything up. Fulton gave up one big play. I would say Crookshank, Evans, and Long to an extent were pretty much the main culprits. All right, we've got like 7 or 8 plays left to go. Looks like Farley is going to get a little PBU here. Just kind of chilling at a standstill. They're playing. I mean, it's it's tough to evaluate this defense too much because the game, 58 seconds left. The game's about over. But really good, really explosive play from Farley, which should not be surprising. Simon didn't have any true pass rush wins, but he was pushing the pocket a little bit and getting some okay pressure. So I wouldn't hate mixing him into the edge rush rotation at all. 3rd and 1. Yeah, I mean they're just milking the clock at this point. Giving up anything underneath. Yeah, can't really evaluate this zone coverage too much because they're just playing super soft. It's a nice play by Farley, though. Outside leverage on this deep route. Just running smash on the left side. Close off the corner route and then break on the flat. I mean, this is something you'd probably have a little bit tighter coverage, but this is something that would happen on, even if it wasn't garbage time. It's a really good play. Second to last play, incompletion. Oh yeah, this is like a borderline pass interference. All right, let's look at the start of the route. So press. Okay. Footwork. So he gets. I like the first few steps. Active feet to start out. He falls for this inside jab step, gets turned around, but then good recovery. So he takes this one false step, gives up his square positioning, but then that's just like the hip fluidity that makes him a top 1% athlete, that he can do that. Yeah, that the refs were kind of letting everything go this game. That's kind of a toss up. It's like face guarding is not a pass interference call. If you're not making contact, you don't have to be turned around to the ball, but it makes it, refs are going to be a lot more have a higher propensity to call that. So yeah, I mean you'd like to see him be able to turn around and play the ball there. But some good things to take away from that for sure. All right, last play. The announcers, I thought it was funny that I was praying for an interception here because the announcers were like, they said something like talking about how the Jags have a lot to build on from this game or some BS like that. And they were like, and I mean, look, Trevor Lawrence's first game without a turnover, that's great. I was just praying that we would get an interception there. And yeah, I mean, that's about as garbage time of an interception as you can get because he was pretty much just had nothing else to do. Some nice Game Pass didn't have the end zone angle of this, but really nice bend by Ola right there. He can just kind of he just kind of limbos under that outside shoulder. He did this on one of, actually, I think both of his sacks against the Colts, where he gets into like this position right here, and he can just like generate so much power by just driving his legs. It's like, he speed rushes, but then when he's bending, he generates a lot of power by getting so low and like driving through that shoulder. So I'll be interested to see what he can do. Let's see. Who gave up the Chenault play? Let me look here. Let me filter defense. Gain. I'm not sure why it's not sorting, but I think it was a 58-yard pass, maybe. Let's check it out. Yeah, I think this was this like, no, this was fourth quarter. All right, let's see. 1st and 10. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, where it's cover 2. That's on, it's on either Evans or Long. So they both fall for the play action. Long gets back. Yeah, I mean, like, Long needs to, Fulton's got the flat covered, and there's one route. There's one route going to the flat. One of my biggest pet peeves about linebackers and zone coverage is that they just will sometimes spot drop, where they say, okay, I have the hook curl, I'm going to go stand in the hook curl area and just chill there. But it's like, you got to cover players, not grass. So let's see what Evans does. I mean, takes this number 2, or, looks towards the number 2, but then he's looking. I mean, I think I like was dogging on Evans for this play. I don't actually think he played this like too badly. He's kind of an awkward athlete in space, but like, he's responsible for this number 2 receiver's route if it's a deep cross or a dig route, but it's a post route. He's not really supposed to cover that. So he's looking at there. He's looking at that route. Then he turns around, sees Chenault, tries to get over there, but just can't really. Yeah, this is on Long. He needs to just get more depth in his drop. But it's also on Bowen, because it's a bad play call, and it's a really easy read for the quarterback. Curious if you notice cornerbacks playing closer to the line of scrimmage. So I chart like press coverage and off coverage for all the snaps. So I'll have a better answer for you after I chart this game. How often do you do this? This is the first time. This is the first stream, but I think it's going to be a weekly thing. Whenever the All 22 comes out, I'll just do a little stream, and yeah. So really successful stream so far. Appreciate everybody coming in. Software is dope. I agree. It is a lifesaver. And then we re-signing Landry. If he keeps it up, I think we will. But yeah, we've been going for over 3 hours. I appreciate everybody coming in. I have almost lost my voice, and we finished the game. So yeah, I will most likely still be doing a film room video for this game. But that will depend on how much time I have. What music do you listen to? Pretty much only rap. Let me actually here. Let's see what my Spotify top 10 was. It's just like Lil Baby, Young Thug, Future. Obviously, everybody listens to Drake. Moneybag Yo, Young Dolph. Those are probably like my top guys, I would say. But yeah, that's going to be it. Peace out. Tighten up. Love you.